Wow, hello everybody, and welcome to our case study, how to connect with the new generation of users on mobile. My name is Alexandra, and I'm here today with Samantha, and together we want to show you how Tutti is driving more app users and how we engage with them. So when we talk about the new generation, we talk about the new focus audience for Tutti, the millennials. I think a lot of people here are also millennials. I am a millennial, and marketeers know them as Generation Y. Born between the 80s and the mid-90s, as kids of the baby boomers, they love deal hunting. I, for example, love online shopping. The millennials demand or like a sustainable lifestyle. They are eco-friendly, and they will delete an app if its icon is ugly, but I will come back to that later. And why is this so cool? Because we can really show them used goods as an alternative. And we're Tutti. We're one of the biggest online marketplaces here in Switzerland. We're common for second-hand goods, and more than 50% of our traffic is in the apps. So more than 75% of the visits are in the apps. And the apps are the biggest driver for us. Why? Because we think the app users are more engaged, they're stickier, and we want to have more app users. Tutti, we have more than 1.8 million live ads on Tutti and more than 175 active daily app users. But that was not always the case. Back in 2017, we had an app usage issue. We had fewer downloads, less engagement, and we knew, okay, we have to change the game, we have to really get active. We started a project group, so how can we really get the app game running again? What did we do? There are different marketing activities, but I think the buzzword here is App Store optimization. It's very important to increase the visibility and the conversion rate and to get more traffic on the App Store page. A study from App Annie showed that 65% of the downloads came from organic search, and this is very important. So what did we do? Actually, we did an assessment for iOS and Google, and we checked, okay, what are the relevant keywords which we want to show up? What are the competitors doing? What are the best practices right now in the market? And so forth. We also checked on our icon, as I mentioned before, the title, review, ratings, short and long descriptions. You see on the left screen an older screenshot and preview, and on the right a new one. So we improved that. And we also had to change our rating game because we had very bad ratings. And then with App Figures or App Follow, we really managed to improve that. And now I think we're at the 4.6, which is great. So those are the possibilities you have on iOS, but also on Google Play. Right now we're running store listing experiments to see if we can really get better performance with the icons. So we're testing A/B/C testing icons right now, but it's a bit too early to say something. But as I mentioned before, it's very important to always improve, always experiment, and so forth. Those are the non-paid activities, but of course you can also do paid user acquisition. I think a lot of marketeers know these common channels. We do universal app campaigns on Google, Facebook, and Apple Search. Here it's very important to mention that Google always wants as much money as possible, so we really have to think, okay, how can we spend the money the best? And we're tracking those installs with AppsFlyer. This is a great mobile measurement partner. You only need to implement the AppsFlyer SDK, and then you have all the data in the dashboard. You see then, okay, how many downloads did I have? How is the retention? What events drove me which campaign, which for marketers is very important. And then you can really say, okay, how can I shift my budget? And how can I really optimize all my campaigns? And right now we have a budget split from 60% for Google Universal App campaigns and 20% for Facebook and 19% for Apple Search. So, and this is more the paid user acquisition funnel. And now I'm handing over to Samantha, and she will tell you more about the retention.
So, as Alexandra mentioned already, we have more traffic in the apps than on web. one of the reasons, of course, is the higher retention. So if you take a look on the week 5 retention rate, on web we have 2.2, and on the apps we have 24.2. Of course, some of you now say that some of our users will surf on their computer at home, then in the office, and so on. But our data seems to see that it's not like that. So our users surf on one device, not on multiple ones. Of course, we have still the issue that you can delete your cookies or surf in a private Safari, but the difference is still huge. So we can see that the retention is much, much higher in the apps. That was one of the reasons why we decided to try to shift our web users to the app. And for that, we have done a smart app banner on our mobile website. So here you can see our testing we have done. We tested 5 different versions of it. The copy was the same, but the sizes and the colors were different. So we had white ones, red ones, blue ones, bigger and smaller ones. So now let us bet. Which one do you think will drive the most app installs? You can just raise your hand. So who thinks that the white one will win in the end? Okay. And the small red one? Great. The bigger red one? Oh, okay. The small blue one? Okay. And last but not least, the big blue one. So I think the most of you think the big red one will win. We have done the same within Tutti, and the most of us were thinking that one of the blue ones will win. And in the end, surprise, the small white one won. So, and we had much more app installed through the white one, which is a surprise because it doesn't seem to be really catchy or something. But still, 1 year after our testing, we have 20% of all app installs coming through this small white banner, which is an amazing number. So a small change can make a huge difference in the end. But then we have our users on the app. But then we should try to engage with them. And the best channel to do so is, of course, push notifications, as the most marketeers here knows already. So we started doing some testing. One of the first testing was that we have done really general push notification to drive more item insertions on Tutti. You can see here the weather report for tutti.ch. The best days are the rainy days, of course, because then you have time to do ad insertions. But you can see here, if we take a look, the numbers of the control group versus the test group. So the control group didn't get a push notification. The numbers were better for the control group, which is not that cool, of course. Also, we didn't have a lot of conversions, so item insertions. On a short term, but we see that the daily active users were higher than normally, but nope, didn't work for us. So we have done other testings, and one which is really working for us is event-based push notification for buyers. So if you have maybe took a look on Tutti for buying a car or a house yesterday, and today you will receive a push notification telling you that we have already 10,000 new cars on Tutti, so you come back. Or you searched for a job last week, and today is Sunday evening, you're not that motivated to go back to work tomorrow. Of course, you're searching for a new one. And then you get a push notification telling you that we have already new job postings on Tutti. So the conversion rate, so the more ad replies that the user have done is 3% more than the control group, so great. And also the retention rate were on a long term much higher than the control group. And still we had more daily active users with the push notification. So yes, it's working for us. Now to the conclusion. You have seen that we have tested different channels. On the acquisition side, we have tested the non-paid channels like ASO, but also paid ones like Google, Facebook, and Apple. On the retention side, then we have tested the smart app banners to shift web users to the app and engage with them through push notifications. Now we have 5 tips for you. The first one is a really important one. You have to find the perfect colors, style, words, etc. to engage and talk to your target group. So like in ASO, you have to find the perfect icon so that they don't delete the app again. Then you have, of course, to find the perfect mix between acquisition and retention. You can't do one without the other, because you can acquire new users, but then, of course, you have to engage with them. In the end, we want to have conversions. And you have also to find the perfect mix within the channel. So like for the paid app install campaigns, you have to split the budget in the right way so that you can see that, or save money in the end and see more app installs. Then, of course, you should experiment and test as much as possible, as usual in marketing, of course. But we saw that, for example, with push notifications, that it didn't work for sellers, but it worked for buyers and on an event-based track. Then you should not always trust your own opinion. We saw with the small white banner, no one was thinking that it will perform, but in the end it was performing much better than the rest. And last but not least, start to do something, because you can't see result if you don't start to do something. And we want to connect with the new generation, so start it today. Thank you.